Hello everyone and welcome to the penultimate round of the 2019.1 South African simGP series. And this time we're racing at the Red Bull Ring, otherwise known as Spielberg. And we have got the qualifying session underway. Just under 13 minutes remaining. No one set a flying lap just yet. We should have 22 cars on the grid this evening. Let's see how we go. Right now we're watching Synergy Racing's Matthew Boy. We started a flying lap already, I think. And it is Commentator Racing's Daniel Haynes who tops the times for the moment with a 1 minute 10.157, so a pretty short lap around here. And we're going to have a 72 lap race this evening, just should be around 90 minutes. And Daniel currently leading his brother Timothy Haynes, it is Volante Racing leading Ghostworks. Of course the brothers in two different teams. We've got Leslie Oliphant in third position for RPM Sim Racing team. Chris Heineke, second of the Ghostworks entries, currently in fourth position. Lawrence Sterner, fifth position. Peter Breed, sixth. Matthew Boy in seventh. Raymond Duggan, eighth. And JP Paul now pops up into ninth position. And Daniel now will improve slightly by just 3/100ths of a second. Peter Breed now about to start another flying lap. Raymond Duggan now up into sixth position for Black Widow. So just over 9 minutes remaining now. It is Timothy Haynes who's taken the provisional pole position away from his brother Daniel. Just a 10th of a second in it between them. And the two Haynes brothers was leading Leslie Oliphant now, but just under 3/10 of a second now. So Chris Heineke right there, looking quick this evening is Chris Heineke for Ghostworks, the 10.5 for him. And Lawrence Sterner completing the top 5 for the moment. Timothy Haynes is using that white line exception rule to turn 1, running a bit wide on entry. Looking for a good run out of the corner, but now he abandons that lap. We've got two more brothers in the race as well, Peter Breed and Corner Breed, running 10th and 11th positions respectively with a Flying Gypsies outfit. Henry Rue says, evening gents. Evening to you too, Henry. Welcome. Concerned about the number of viewers coming through, but as I had the video set to unlisted, no wonder that no one was watching, but now I've set it to public and the viewers are starting to come through now. Welcome everybody. Great to have Ryan Azevedo back in the action as well, currently in 14th position. Is Ryan, there he is now. On to 5th, no, he's in 14th. Peter Holden-Jones is in 15th position for Redline Racing. Mike McGear looking to do better, currently in his 16th. Ines Botma in 17th for Nibble Racing. He comes through now. Nick Hodgson now puts in a flying lap. He goes 5th fastest, slots a bit behind Lawrence Turner. Chris Heineken now pops into provisional pole position. Wow, for Ghostworks Racing. I haven't seen Chris Heineken on the top of the timesheets for a very long time. But Chris Heineken seems to have found something special here at the Red Bull Ring. Can he maintain that provisional pole position to the end of the session? Heineken seems to have his tail up here. Let's see what happens. JP Paul now up into 11th position. Mark Kennedy to 13th. And Bongi Mabida pitches up with the 3rd best time. The 1:10.1. Wow, incredibly close times here this evening. I suppose you could expect that from a short circuit, but still. Not even a 10th of a second, severing the top 4. Just over a 10th of a second, in fact. So if you look at the teams, this is the 2 Ghostworks entries leading the way at the moment. From RPM Sim Racing Team in 3rd position with Bongi Mabida, and then Volante Racing currently in 4th position. RPM again there in 5th position. Lawrence Turner in 6th position. So an independent entry for Lawrence Turner. Nick Hodgson there in 7th for Dodging Towers. Corner Breed for Flying Gypsies. Daniel Haynes now takes a provisional pole position away from Heineke. So Volante goes to the top. Great effort there from Daniel. Chris Heineke now looking for some pace. He's avoided some spinning Ines Botma in the distance. See what Heineke can do now. He's found a 10th of a second, but he's lost it straight away. Yeah, not working out for Chris Heineke. But Heineke is still pretty much square on his best delta. He's lost a 10th of a second as well. Heineke will try again. It doesn't go quicker that time. Now, Timothy Haynes beats Heineke as well to 2nd. Oh, and Heineke pushing too hard over the bumps, and that's what can happen if you're pushing too hard that part of the circuit. Round he goes, but Daniel Haynes enjoying a good margin at the moment, 2/10 ahead of brother Timothy. So Heineke another outlap, preparing for another run. Timothy Haynes improves, but doesn't quite get on terms with Daniel. There's the Oliphant now up into third position for RPM. So look at Nick Hodgson's fallen down to 7th after that top 5 run a couple of minutes ago. Peter Breed now to 14th with Flying Gypsies. Matthew Boy up to 9th position for Synergy. Just over 2 minutes remaining. The drivers preparing for their last couple of runs. Daniel Haynes on the pits. Timothy on an outlap. Oliphant's in the pits. Heineke is on a fly. Let's see what he can do. Let's go on board with Heineke. Just get my cameras correct. So Heineke now is improving 0.4 of a second now. On the way to, this is Remus corner. Then, oh, and Heineke gets it wrong. Around he goes. The Beater moves to 5th position. Timothy Haynes looking to improve now. It's up at half a tenth. Haynes now up. Timothy Haynes now up on his delta. Is he going to improve? Looking for good drive out of the final corner. And he's going to improve slightly. Is it enough? I don't think it is. There's a 109.945, a 10th behind Daniel Haynes. But really on another run. There's the Oliphant on an outlap. Heineke's in the pits. But let's have a look at Timothy. Oh, and Timothy had to avoid a spinning car there, unfortunately, and that's put an end to his final run. So Daniel Haynes looking good here for pole position suddenly. There's the Oliphant. Don't think we'll get another lap in, will he? Nick Hodgson now up into 2nd position. Wow, out of nowhere. Hodgson arrives to the party. Bongi Mabita's on a flying lap. Let's see what he can do. Currently in 6th position for RPM Sim Racing team. Different approach to Remus corner that time round. Last time going in, game time going out. Through Rauch now to the Worth corner. Turn 6 is flat out, on run to turn 7, Rint now. Rudy Murray now up to 10th position for Valente, but Bongi Mabita is not going to improve. And it is pole position for Daniel Haynes and Valente Racing. Congratulations to them, great run. We're going to take a short break, don't go away. Welcome back to the Red Bull Ring for round 4 of the 2019.1 South African simGP series. And wow, look at that, is Daniel Haynes in pole position for Volante Racing. He leads Nick Hodgson there in second position for Dodging Towers. And then we got the Ghostworks entry of Timothy Haynes in third position. And then RPM is right there with Leslie Oliphant in fourth position. Chris Heineken in the second of the Ghostworks entries will start from fifth position. Bongman Biden in the second of the RPM entries will start from sixth position. Lawrence Stern in seventh position. Mark Hennebury also with Ghostworks will start from eighth position. Gorno Bread, good result from him, will start from ninth position for Flying Gypsies. And Rudy Murray completes your top 10 there for Volante Racing. Matthew Boy from 11th for Synergy Racing. Stephen Sparks there in 12th position for Redline. First of the Redline cars this evening. Raymond Duggan, I beg your pardon, from 13th position for Black Widow. JP Paul also for Black Widow from 14th. Peter Bread from 15th. I'm not mistaken, it's his debut race this evening. Let's see how he gets on. Ryan Dazavedo from 16th. Miguel from 17th. Kelvnes from 18th. And Ines Butner from 19th position, who rounds up the field for Nibble Racing. Nibble Esports, I should say. Daniel now just bunching up the field to get this start underway. He's approaching the speed up point, which is shortly coming up. And a big welcome to everybody watching this evening. I think this will be a good race, and Daniel Haynes will start the race now, and off he goes. Got the jump on Nick Hodgson. Down the main straight we go for the very first time on the run to turn 1, Castrol Edge. And Oliphant looking for a runner. Timothy Haynes already under pressure. Got a move here from Lawrence Sterner on Bongi Mabida into the side of Mark Hennebury. But Hennebury survived and he's actually passed Mabida already. Bit of drama in the background as well. And Nick Hodgson having a go at Daniel Haynes, but Daniel Haynes in fact got back past him. Hodgson very aggressive. He's going for the move. It's Hodgson up the inside he goes. He's out breaks. And Haynes has got it wrong. Daniel goes around. Pole position starter needs to rejoin safely. That was close, but he's done so. And Haynes now down to 12th position. Nick Hodgson has gone to the front. Timothy Haynes up to second. Heineke up to third. So I'm not quite sure if Daniel Haynes was just caught out by that move by Hodgson. Just distracted him slightly, and that's all you need in these cars. They're not easy to drive. No traction control, no ABS. Around 800 horsepower under your right foot. That's what can happen. Daniel Haynes has already got JP Paul for 11th position as he starts to recover. Heineke looking for a move on Timothy Haynes. The two Ghostworks cars side by side. Oliphant wants to get on in this action as well. And Heineke's got that move done. Wow, around the outside goes Heineke to second position. So Heineke looking very strong this evening as he now goes after Hodgson. Outbreaks himself there, does Heineke. Oliphant looking quick as well, putting Timothy Haynes under pressure now. Daniel Haynes up to 10th already. Again, as Raymond Duggan falls down the field. Matthew Boy into the pits, I think, for damage repair. Peter Bread now under pressure from Duggan. Red around the outside. No, Duggan takes the position back. McGear into the pits. He must have damage as well, I think. Perhaps involved in that incident with Boy. Ines Botman now will move up into 17th. But Hodgson is our race leader, and he's leading by 1.2 seconds ahead of Chris Heineke. Oh, Oliphant's got Haynes around the outside for third position. Impressive move. Going through Remus' corner. And Timothy Haynes really battling for pace on this opening stint. Let's see what tyres everyone is running. Nick Hodgson, our race leader, interestingly enough, on the medium tyre. Heineke on the softs. Oliphant on the mediums. Timothy Haynes on the mediums. Medium runners all the way to 11th position, where JP Paul is on softs. So perhaps the soft tyre choice by Heineke is the reason why he's so quick early on. Let's see if Hodgson can keep ahead of him. As Matthew Boyd darts out of the way while the other cars put a lap on him. Remember, he came out the pits a moment ago. Mark Hennebury now for Ghost Weeks. Under pressure from RPM's Bongi Mabida. Hennebury goes defensive. Mabida looking to around the outside. Doesn't quite direct up for Mabida, although he gets better drive out of that corner with that wider exit. Side by side action, great racing between Mabida and Hennebury, but Hennebury holds the upper hand for the moment in 5th position. Let's go back to our race leader now as Hodgson comes under severe pressure from Chris Heineke. Remember, Hodgson is on the medium tyre, Heineke is on the soft tyre, so this should put Heineke in good stead for these opening laps. Chris Heineke with the quickest lap of the race, so 1:11.665. Mabida's fallen. Oh, Mabida's gone around. What has happened? Mabida's fallen right back. So Hennebury has not fallen back, so perhaps Mabida just got it wrong. Mabida now rejoins in 10th position, just ahead of Lawrence Turner. As Hodgson prepares to fend off a second wave of attack from Chris Heineke. Daniel Haynes already to 7th position. Has just put a move on corner Bread. So Haynes already up to 7th after dropping back from 11th. Oliphant there just having a cheeky look up the inside of Chris Heineke. So Heineke's somewhat fallen off the back of Hodgson somewhat. And now finds himself under pressure from Oliphant. Guy's really battling to get the power down out of turn 1. There's really Marez past Mark Hennebury, and he's had a problem. Oh, Hennebury's in the wall, so it looks like a spin out of turn 1. Just catching a lot of drivers already. Just done 7 laps of this race. Hennebury rejoins in 11th position. Bongi Mabida, of course, recovering. He's up to 9th position. Heineke now again under pressure from Oliphant. But Oliphant's bringing Timothy Haynes with him. Timothy Haynes now with a look at Oliphant up the inside. Oliphant leaves him room, but Timothy Haynes not able to use that. It's fallen back from Oliphant quite a bit already. Just having a look at the tire status of each of the drivers. In fact, Matthew Boy has put the hard tire on, so that's an interesting choice. Perhaps looking to go very long in the race to make up for his early pit stop. Let's see how that works out for him towards the end of the race. Hodgson now enjoying a good, 2-second lead ahead of Chris Heineke. And there's 1.2 second lead in fact, so not a big gap at all. And there's another 1.2 second gap back to Oliphant. JP Paul now under pressure from Bongi Mabida. This is over 8th position. TX3 Ulti is saying a boy pulling a Ferrari. Reference to Ferrari's couple of calls in the last couple of Grand Prix. I'm sure we'll understand what he means. Oh, contact here as Mabida goes up the inside. Wow, Paul just moves across and Mabida into the wall. Has Mabida got damage? That's a question. Under pressure from Hennebury now is Mabida, and Mabida is slow. So, well, Mabida is looking to go in the pits. I think JP Paul was completely oblivious to where Mabida was. And just moved across, and Mabida had nowhere to go. But anyway, that's really compromised Mabida's race as he comes into the pits now. Let's see what he does with his tyre choice. Oh, we've got a fight here as Heineke takes his position back from Oliphant. And Oliphant really forcing the issue now. He wants to get past Heineke and get up the road to Hodgson before Hodgson disappears. JP Paul's had a spin. He's fallen right back to 10th position. Stephen Sparks has got past Holden-Jones for 15th. Two red line cars running together. Mike McGear, our first retirement of this evening. And he was in 18th position. Sparks has a spin as well. And he falls down, uses a couple of positions. Sparks looking to make absolutely sure they rejoin safely. Daniel Haynes has pulled a move on Mark Hennebury. Up to 8th position he goes, but I think Hennebury might have a go back at him. No, he decides out of it. The upside of it. And Oliphant's got past Heineke, 2nd position. Heineke's fallen right back. Oh, he's had a problem. I think he's had a half spin out of the second last corner. And he's lost 2 positions to Oliphant and fellow Ghost Works driver Timothy Haynes. Oh, another spin too. I think the softs might have let go already. That's interesting. And Heineke now is fallen right down to 5th position. And puts him out of the running for this race victory, I think, unfortunately. But it's up to Hodgson and Oliphant now. Just 0.9 of a second between them. With Timothy Haynes not far behind there in 3rd position, just 3 seconds behind. Oh, big moment there for Hodgson. Hangs on to it, but he has slowed. Oliphant will be all over him now towards the end of the main straight. So Hodgson and Oliphant are both on the medium tyre. As Oliphant now aggressively pulls out of the slipstream, looking for a move. Oh, Hodgson left the door open there momentarily, but they closed it again. He's got the better drive now. I think it was Oliphant, in fact. Oliphant will be using the slipstream now. Hodgson will need to go defensive quickly. You know, he doesn't do that. Bongi Mabida, unfortunately, is also retired from this race after that incident with JP Paul. But Hodgson hangs on to it for the moment. Oliphant with a big wobble out of the final corner. Hangs on to it, but Hodgson has pulled the gap. Oliphant a tenth of a second quicker than Hodgson that last lap. Oliphant falls back again. What's happened to Rudy Marais? He's lost the position to Heineke and now Corne Breed. Breed having a good race. Up into 5th position. Nice and consistent, keeping out of trouble. But as I said, that he does lock up slightly. Not too bad. JP Paul comes into the pits now from 12th position. And if you're watching this, you want to get involved in the racing at SimRace South Africa. In fact, we are going to have a fun race this Wednesday evening. We'll be racing the Formula 3 cars that were the models made by Race Sim Studio. We'll have a look on our forum at simracesa.co.za. You'll find the race thread for that race. And anyone is welcome to join us this Wednesday evening. Find that race thread under the Road to Season 2019.2 section on the forum. Why not use that race in preparation for the new season? We do not have a calendar for the 2019.2 season just yet, but the 2019.1 season finishes up in June. So 2019.2 could start towards the end of June or early July. But the calendar now will be announced in the next couple of weeks. It needs to be. Rudy Marais now has fallen down again to 6th position now. He was in 4th position. Chris Heineke now in the pits to change those soft tyres. What has he gone to? He's gone to the medium tyre. Hodgson still in command of this race on lap 16 of 72. So our pole position starter. Oh, as Oliphant puts a move on Nick Hodgson. Hodgson making a mistake. That's all Oliphant needed. So RPM Sim Racing team leading the way. Oh, and as I say that, Hodgson will slip past again. So comedy of errors there for our race leaders. But Hodgson back to the front and in traffic as well. In front of him is Stephen Sparks for Redline Racing. And Stephen moves aside graciously to respect those blue flags. Rudy Moreira's got Corne Bread back for 5th position. So Volante moves ahead of Flying Gypsies there for 5th position. But Hodgson again under pressure now from Oliphant. Fantastic contest between these two drivers. As Oliphant dives into the pits on lap 17. Is that early? We're not sure. Let's see what Hodgson does the next lap. But Oliphant clearly trying to get the undercut on Hodgson. It's going to be interesting to see what Oliphant filters out now. But anyway, Hodgson's away. And will Hodgson come in immediately to cover off? There's the Oliphant. And prevent any contact there with Ryan Azevedo. And Azevedo just slow out of that corner, and Hodgson had nowhere to go. But the question is now, does Hodgson have damage? Front wing doesn't look too bad. So Oliphant is rejoining 3rd position. A good 23 seconds behind Hodgson. Hodgson needs to come in now to avoid any undercut there, and he does so as well. So good tactics there by Hodgson, responding straight away. Something Ferrari needs to do more often as well. But any Hodgson comes in now. Let's see if he can get this done quickly. Where's Oliphant? He's rounding the second last corner. Hodgson leaves these pit box right now. Where's Oliphant? Oliphant coming down the main straight. This is going to be very close. Hodgson needs to be careful on pit exit. Gets the power down. Where's Oliphant? He's right there, but Oliphant retains the lead for now. As Timothy Haynes goes for a spin behind him. Oh, contact here. So Hodgson defending like crazy. He gets the job done, but Oliphant now gets the drive underneath him. And Oliphant will now go to the front. What can Hodgson now do? Hodgson trying to go around the outside. No, it hasn't worked out. And Oliphant cements that race lead now. Timothy Haynes has fallen back to 6th position. And Oliphant moving away from Hodgson straight away. The gap up to a 2nd. So both Oliphant and Hodgson sticking to the medium tyre for their second stints. Timothy Haynes into the pits, and so is Rudy Moreira. Daniel Haynes has stayed out on track. He's in 3rd position. 7 seconds behind Hodgson. And ahead of Hennebury. 1.8 seconds. Heineken now fends off Timothy Haynes. And Julian, thanks for asking what happened to the commentary. I had my microphone on mute, so thanks for that. I was commentating away to myself. Anyway, Daniel Haynes and Corne Bread and Mark Hennebury into the pits now. Sterner making his presence felt now as Timothy Haynes had to defend through that last corner. Brett has got Daniel Haynes for third, but Daniel Haynes comes back at him. Richard Bree gets the power down, but Daniel Haynes does it better. Lawrence Sterner now around the outside of Timothy Haynes. Wow, great racing. And Sterner goes through to 6th position. Oh, great move there by Sterner. Timothy Haynes under pressure from Chris Heineke. But Sterner having a good race this evening. Up into 6th now as he now goes after Corne Bread. Peter Bread now up down to 8th of season for his pit stop. And our pole position starter Daniel Haynes now, he's very quick at the moment, but he's got 36 seconds to Hodgson. But it's still early times. We're on that 27 of 72. So Oliphant and Hodgson will be wary of Daniel Haynes, I think. Let's see if he comes into play towards the end. Mark Hennebury now under pressure from Rudy Murray. Sterner under pressure now from Timothy Haynes. Once again, Haynes dives up the inside. Lawrence Sterner's not having any of it. He darts back across the circuit. It catches Haynes by surprise somewhat. And Haynes has got Azevedo, who's a lap down, in fact, just behind him. But Azevedo looking quick at this stage. He can unlap himself if he needs to, as long as he pulls away swiftly after doing so. This is Mark Hennebury still ahead of Rudy Murray. Rudy Murray looking strong under brakes as he chases after Hennebury. Maria's got a good run of Mark Hennebury now as he darts for a move up the inside. Hennebury cuts back across him as Timothy Haynes goes for a spin in front of them. Timothy now down to 9th, unfortunately for him. TX3 Ulti, Hodge and Oliphant already pitted. Yes, they did pit already. Ines Putman onto the pits for Nibble Esports. Abangi, are you there? Mark Kenny being up the inside of Azevedo. Azevedo, of course, is a let down. Corner Bread now with half a spin under pressure from Sterner. I think Sterner's going to have him. Sterner challenging now for 4th position. Around the outside. Great move. So Sterner now. Good, what, 5.5 seconds behind Daniel Haynes. Rudy Murray's got Mark Hennebrey. Oh, they're still together. Rare on the outside, that's brave. He's got that move done. Nicely done by the Volante racing driver. And Haynes now under pressure from Hennebrey. Murray's got Timothy Haynes looking to fight back now. Oh, Haynes has gone off, has he? Yes, he has. Where's Mark Hennebrey? He's side by side with him. And run to Castro edge corner now, and Hennebrey's through. Chris Heineken to the pits again. Oh, Mark Hennebrey had to correct mid corner. That sees Timothy Haynes back through again. Lots of action this evening. Oh, we had our 4th retirement. As Chris Heineke has just left the server. Ines Botma has also left the server. So we had 4 retirements so far. Lap 32. Back to the front now, and is Leslie Oliphant leading this race by just 6 seconds ahead of Nick Hodgson. So Oliphant's really taking command now. Of course, anything can happen during the second half of this race. Has moved to 1.2 seconds clear of Timothy Haynes. And Timothy, beg your pardon, Leslie Oliphant doing exactly what he needs to do to close that, closing that 5 drivers' championship point deficit to Timothy Haynes. And this championship will go down to the final round if it is to stay like this. And after another pit stop by Leslie Oliphant, Nick Hodgson moves to the front now, leads by 18 seconds. Is he going to respond like he did during the first pit stops and coming straight after Oliphant? I think he needs to. Let's see what he does now. Ron Stern has fallen right back. In fact, he's gone into the pits. Let's see what Hodgson does now. Does he come in? Yes, he does. Just trying to get the overcut on Oliphant. I don't think it's going to quite work. Perhaps he's coming a bit early. Hodgson stops on his marks perfectly. And Oliphant's easily going to take the lead of this race once again, as Hodgson leaves his blocks there. Daniel Haynes under pressure from corner Bread for third position. So Ryan D'Azevedo, currently 11th position, just ahead of Raymond Duggan in the Black Widow entry. But there's Daniel Haynes, who's moved it away now from corner Bread. That gap up to a second. I'm joining the commentary booth by Bongi Mabida. Welcome, Bongi.
How's it, Jason? How are you, man?
Good and you. So, Bongi, what happened to the race? Unfortunately, you retired.
Oh man, I guess that's just a consequence of starting in the mid-pack. Yeah, I think I started in about 6th position. Got off to a really bad start in turn 1. I got mugged by Sterner. Ended up running in 8th place, and yeah, I mean, I was racing against guys that I just didn't know. You know, when you don't know someone's racecraft, it just, you know, it's just a recipe for disaster. Hey, and unfortunately, I had another crash a lap later, and another crash again with Duggan, and yeah, that pretty much just killed my whole entire race.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You were pretty quick throughout the weekend during the Hot Lap Division qualifying session, and yeah, it's a shame to see you fall out. How was the car feeling anyway at the start of the race?
Yeah, the car in the first lap with the cold tires is a bit tricky, you know, with these cars as you would expect. But yeah, I mean, by lap 2, the tires were up to temps and was able to push from there. And unfortunately, that's when my incident started. But yeah, just glad to see that Leslie Oliphant at least is holding the flag high there for the RPM Sim Racing team.
Absolutely, your team is doing incredibly well, and I'm not quite sure if anyone else has got an answer for him at the moment with 32 laps remaining. We have to see how we go. So, Bongi, tell us what it's like to drive these cars. Is it very challenging, as everyone else says it is?
I mean, look, I mean, you've seen the pros spinning around. I think Timothy Haynes, this race alone, he's had about 3 spins. You know, Bashir Judd Watts, I think he raced in Monza. He spun like twice in the first 3 laps. So it just shows you how difficult these cars are to drive. I mean, no matter what skill level you are, it's just such a challenge. But again, the reward of these cars is just like when you get it right. When you nail that lap, you know, you put the power down at the right time. You know, it feels like you know, you feel like Superman in these things. But yeah, it's just one of those cars where it's just the work, you know, the work and the reward of just getting it right. So that's what really matters with these things.
Yeah, I can imagine it must be quite a bit of satisfaction to get it right when you do get it right.
No, definitely, and that's just with the hot lapping. Racing is a totally different story altogether.
Absolutely. Yeah, so after this race, I mean, the next thing up for you now is round 4 of the South African simGP series at the Nürburgring Sprint Circuit. And have you started preparation or not yet?
Yeah, I should start my preparations probably by tomorrow or so. I'll see how it goes. Again, I'm guessing it's the short Nürburgring we're using for the next track?
That's right, yeah.
Oh, yes. So very low top speeds, lots of traction and mechanical grip zones there. And that's where the Porsche excels really, in those mechanical grip sections. So I'm sure expecting a good result there, that race.
Yeah, of course, you've got the engine at the back, so that helps things to get out the corners.
No, definitely so.
Yeah, the short sprint version of that circuit should it's got lots of overtaking opportunities as well. So that should be exciting to watch.
No, most definitely. And our short track should give close racing for everybody as well.
And Bongi, you've been driving that Porsche for many seasons now. So clearly you found a way to set the car up. So it's very interesting to watch throughout the seasons.
Yeah, about the Porsche, I think a majority of my pace comes down to pure experience with the car. I mean, I think everybody that's been racing Sim Race SA for at least from 2017 when I started will know that that's pretty much the first and only GT3 car I've ever competed with. So I think this is now going to be my 3rd year with the Porsche, or my 4th season now. So yeah, a majority of my pace is just really experience. I mean, setup wise, I only gain about maybe half a second maximum. But anything other than that is just, just being at one with the car, really, hey?
Absolutely. And I know a lot of the other drivers have had difficulty making the soft tire work on the Porsche. Have you had any success with that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the Seto Corsa's tire model, the way it is, unfortunately, the Porsche just has a problem with just overheating those rear tires, unfortunately. And in most tracks, because of that, you end up having to use the medium tires as your primary qualifying tires. So unfortunately, I mean, that's just the way it is in the Seto Corsa. So on my side of things, really, I try to use the softs, but most of the time, just running the mediums in quali gives you the best lap time. So yeah, unfortunately, running mediums, you'll never get a pole position or maybe even a top 2 in quali. But yeah, no, I just make do with what I can, eh?
Let's trying to have a look at your. Just 1 moment. Your place in the championship at the moment. And I think you are in 5th position. That's quite a good standing there for you, Bongi, in the GT series. So,
yeah.
Not far from the top, in fact. You're on 88 points, and the leader, Jim Clark's on 100. So still all to play for, really.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I had 3 consecutive 4th place finishes, all in different circumstances. I could have done better on most of those races, but unfortunately, things just went the way that they did. But yeah, I mean, 5th in the championship. I mean, I'm happy. I mean, this season we've got such huge talent. We've got the Jim Clarks, the Judd Whites. Unfortunately, Rousseau has pulled out, but you got the new guys like the Haynes brothers, also very quick. Stain. I mean, this season, I mean, just being in that top 6, 7, 8, 9, even top 10, I think is an achievement for me, really. Eh?
Because I've seen the GT series, you've had 3 top 4 finishes.
That's correct. That's correct.
So the number 4, that's what you got for the season.
Yeah, definitely. But again, like I said, anything in the top 10, I'm happy. With the championship the way it is and the talent that's come in, top 10 for me is an achievement, really. And I just do it for the fun of the racing, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I did the Division 2 race at the Brands Hatch round of the GT series, and I was totally amazed by the standard of driving, even in the 2nd division. So Division 1 is extremely competitive.
Oh no, most definitely. I mean, if you want the top 3 that Division 1, you gotta leave absolutely no stone unturned. Unfortunately, you gotta have the talent, you gotta have the right car, you gotta have the time to practice, you gotta know how to set up the car. And if you're missing just one of those elements, I mean, that's enough to take you straight out of the top 10. Or out of the top 15, unfortunately. So it's that competitive, and it's every season that goes by, it gets even more competitive. You see the lap times improving year upon year, despite being the same tracks. And yeah, you can't stand still in this championship because you'll find yourself in no man's land very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had sort of drivers coming in from other championships, and I've got a feeling they think they're going to do well, and then they soon realize that it's very competitive, and they need to sort of up their game straight away. And yeah, that's what we've seen.
No, definitely true story. I mean, the lap times that we're doing, or that the top guys are doing in the Sim Race SA League, I mean, it's pretty much they could be competitive in pretty much any Seto Corsa league I've seen around the world already. So yeah, the level is just that high, Jason. You've definitely created a monster here with this series.
Thanks very much, Bongi. Yeah, it's been a labor of love for a long time now, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think everybody's enjoying it, and yeah, you go from strength to strength. And, yeah. So, Bongi, is there anything else you'd like to say before you head off? It's been great to have you in the commentary booth.
Yeah, I just like to say, man, Jason, man, keep it up. With the sim race essay, where it started and where it is now. I remember we used to have only 20 guys racing in this thing, and now we have almost plus 100 at one point, or 120. So yeah, it's just good to see sim racing growing, strength by strength. And I'm not sure if there's any other guys that are trying to push this whole sim racing thing in the country, but I think the way that you're doing it, Jason, I mean, you're doing an excellent job, and I definitely hope to see sim race say growing from strength to strength in the future,
Well, thank you very much, Bongi, and also with the help of your absolutely fantastic videos that you produce for me to use to promote the sim racing at Sim Race South Africa. Yeah, I think we'll go from strength to strength. So thank you very much for that and for all that you've done in that regard.
Nah, no problem at all, Jason. No problem, It's a pleasure. It's good to see the sport growing, and that just makes me happy,
Thank you very much, Bongi.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for having me.
Cool, man. Cheers.
Bye.
So back to the on-track action now. We're watching Mark Hennebury currently in 7th position. He's trying to fend off Sterner for 8th. And of course, at the front, there's Leslie Oliphant, who's still leading the way by a solid margin, by over 6 seconds now. And, oh, we just missed Julian's comment there asking what setup Bongi is using. Perhaps Bongi can answer that in the YouTube live chat if he sees that. Julian, you can also just send a message on our Discord channel, and I'm sure Bongi will respond. But Hennebury now under severe pressure. Sterner once passed. Mark Hennebury, wow, using an interesting route into the pits. Cuts across the circuit. And he comes. And it's can be the problem with the circuit. If you've got someone very close behind you and you want to enter into the pit, sometimes you need to make a plan to make that happen without causing an incident. And I think that's what Hennebury was trying to do. Anyway, in comes the Ghostworks car from 8th position. Rudy Murray to the pits now for Volante Racing. And it's fantastic to have Bongi Mabita join me in the booth. If anyone else who would like to come in and have a chat to me, that would be great. Just you can pop into the SRSA waiting room in our Discord channel. And I'll patch you through to the booth. Let's have a little chat. Sometimes it gets a bit lonely here in the commentary booth. For my ace commentators currently in this race, or not available this evening, of course. Murray now rejoins in 7th position for Volante. Daniel Haynes now pits from 3rd position, also for Volante. I mean, for his spot. Still enjoying a successful recovery drive, which saw him down to 11th at one stage. Matthew Boy now into the pits from 10th position. Boy wasn't that hard tired. Let's see what he goes for. No. Timothy Haynes now into the pits from what, 3rd, 4th position. Got what, 22 laps remaining of this race. Can Hodgson do anything about Oliphant? And Rudy Moret has passed Timothy Haynes. Nice job there. Valente puts one over Ghostworks, but Ghostworks coming back at them now. Timothy Haynes opts out of any kind of move, perhaps cold tires. Makes him think again. Kelnes into the pits now from 14th position. Corner Bread now into from 3rd for Flying Gypsies. Daniel Haynes will pass Bread for 3rd. Can Bread come back at him? That's the question. This Bread's got race leader Leslie Oliphant about to put a lap at him. So Oliphant really quick here. He is about to lap the 4th place driver Corner Bread with 20 laps remaining. Peter Bread now, he's in the pits from 9th position. Lawrence Stern has started putting pressure now on Corner Bread for 4th position. Bread had a half spin, seems to have fallen back from Daniel Haynes pretty quickly. Oh, and Stern has had a spin. Oh, that's really cost him. But Oliphant's opened up the lead by another 2 seconds. That gap's up to 8.6 now, ahead of Hodgson. Raymond Duggan and Matthew Boyd together now. This is over 11th position. Black Widow leads Synergy. And Matthew Boyd has changed to the soft tire, in fact. That's interesting. So Boyd was on the, I think he's tried all the different compounds this race. Started on the mediums, had his accident, came in, changed to the hards, and now running the softs to the end, I think he's going to try and do. So perhaps some testing here for the final round at Spa. Rudy Moret has put a move on Timothy Haynes. No, in fact, Timothy Haynes was attacking and Moret's got that position back. It's an interesting battle here between The two teams. Haynes with a cheeky look up there inside. Oh, he's actually caught out Murray somewhat. Murray runs wide. Through goes Timothy Haynes. A bit of gamesmanship there paid off for Timothy Haynes. Catching Murray off guard. Perhaps Murray can come back at him now. Murray is on the hard tie, in fact, so should in fact be slower than Timothy Haynes at this stage. It's different strategies playing out this evening. Great to see. And our race leader, Leslie Oliphant, comes into the pits. What is Hodgson going to do? He stays out. He takes the lead of this race. I wonder if Hodgson's might just chance it and try and go to the end. He's got, what, 16 laps remaining. And they beat entire... Oh, I don't know. I don't think he can do it. But it might be worth a shot. Seeing up there's a big gap back to Daniel Haynes. Over a minute. So Oliphant rejoins, what, 18 seconds behind Hodgson. Hodgson on a bit of traffic. He's got Lawrence Sterner in 4th position ahead of him. Is Hodgson going to chance it and try and get to the end without stopping again? Has he got the fuel? That's also the next question to ask. Hodgson, no, Hodgson's responding, he's coming in. There comes Timothy Haynes. Sterner's also into the pits from 5th position. Welcome to everybody joining in the YouTube live chat. Great to have everyone. Hodgson now 5.5 seconds behind Oliphant, so he's gained a bit on Oliphant during that last pit stop phase. I'm joined by Volante Racing's team principal, Eric Inslin. Welcome, Eric.
Hello. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good, thanks.
Great to have you on the stream.
Yeah, thank you. I figured since race is going on, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great stuff. So what do you think of the race so far?
I mean, Daniel had a good qualifying. I was quite happy with his qualifying performance. Just unlucky with that, I think it was his second lap with the spin. But overall, I'm quite happy with the guys' performance. They were doing quite well. A lot of practice going into this, not gonna lie. So yeah, overall happy.
Yeah, these cars demand a lot of practice. That's the nature of the beast, as they say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've even tried them, and yeah, 3 races in, I've given up completely.
Okay.
So yeah, not touching them again.
Okay, fair enough. And I see Rudy Mariz is doing a good job there in 6th position. It's looking nice and
Oh, yeah,
consistent.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I see Rudy. He's not the fastest driver, but he's definitely one of the most consistent ones. So that's where he usually gets his points from, starting at the back and then just trying to hold out and get the consistency rolling. And it seems to be working out throughout the season.
Yeah, so Volunteer Racing is a relatively new team, Eric. I mean, you started it, what, 6 months ago or less?
Yeah, we started in December, but I think we focused more on the international scene when we started.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've been in sim racing for since last year, I think.
Yeah.
I've been competing, but yeah, not to the greatest success.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started thinking of getting a local team running,
Okay.
and I mean, we've been focusing on the simGP series, and I think we're currently also leading the standings for team championship.
That's correct, yeah.
That's been our goal. I mean, when I picked up Rudy and Daniel, they said, "Listen, we're looking for teams," and we've driven. I think they've driven the 2017.2 season together.
Okay. Yeah.
So I told them, "Okay, well, you guys have a goal. We'll help you try and reach that goal." And I mean, it's working out quite well.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes into Spa.
Yeah, you guys are leading
Looking
at
good.
the moment by 11 points from Redline Racing. But yeah, but I mean, this race should put you in good stead as well.
Yes, definitely.
Peter Kelness and Steven Sparks, they're not doing too great this race. So yeah, it should just do the maths. Perhaps you guys will win the championship this race. Anyway,
I mean,
later. Yeah.
yeah. I think we won't put it that way. I think we'll just go into Spa, just a bit more calm. I don't think the guys will push as much. Yeah, it's up to them. I'm not pushing them as much. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, we have some big plans coming for the next season. I think it's going to be quite an interesting season. So yeah, I think the other teams should be on the lookout.
Oh, wow, okay. Are you guys expanding the number of drivers, or?
I think we're gonna keep it behind the curtains for now. But yeah, the season's almost over, so the news should be coming out soon.
Right, well, look forward to those announcements. Let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We're trying to get the name out there. I mean, we have some. I see the teams have been stepping up the game a lot this year. It's been quite crazy. Even I think people are realizing that sim racing is a very untapped market in the country.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to see the teams trying to more of turning into a brand instead of just normal teams.
Yeah, I know.
So I see
Just
the
trying to be a bit more professional, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Like see the social networks are filling up a bit with more teams
Yeah.
posting their things here and there. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with how the local scene is growing. Looks very good. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, season 2 still in the works. But yeah, so far it's been a good year. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a really good year for some racing in the country.
Yeah, I think so too. I would agree with that statement. Yeah. And just can you take the cars that are chosen for the season? Do you think they were a bit too hardcore, too much on a knife edge? And would you like to see sort of slower, more stable cars introduced, or what's your take?
Oh, definitely not. I think the cars were actually a good pick, especially these GP cars. I think it's the V8s are also. I mean, the V8s are also quite hectic to drive. You need to really work hard on your setup, and it's a big difference between all the cars. So I think some drivers also might be finding it hard to switch from one car to another in the weeks, since they have such big differences between all the three. But in general, I think it's a very good three car lineup.
Okay.
Would be quite nice to see some modern GPs coming in soon. I mean, last season was quite great to watch. So yeah, I think. I mean, we don't really know what you're planning for season 2,
Yeah.
but
I don't even
yeah,
know
we'll see.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll see how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I'm quite happy with the lineup.
Yeah, I've been happy with it as well. It's just in the GP series, I just like to see a bit more closer racing. I mean, that's.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I think that's basically just how GP goes. I mean, it's been like that even with the hybrid season or the hybrid era. So I think it's going to be difficult to get it closer. Not really sure what will make it closer. I don't know if a DRS system will help at all, but yeah, that's just how it is.
I think, yeah, we might need to look at sort of slower cars, but they need to be exciting as well to drive, and that's going to be the challenge.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite interesting to see the Formula 3s on Wednesday. Maybe that will count as a test session.
Yes, yeah, it is basically what it's going to be, our test session for the next season.
Yeah, that will look very promising. I hope it does, because I mean, Formula 3 is quite a booming class over the past year. I would say I've seen a lot of social networking going around with Formula 3.
Yeah, they've been made part of the sort of the Formula 1 circuit as well. So it's
exactly.
Nice. Same thing with Formula 2.
So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Absolutely, yeah. Good. So, Eric, will you be doing the next GT race?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Nürburgring is one of my favorites, so I'm not gonna set out on this one. Especially the sprint series. I like the sprint version of it since it's quite popular in the race room.
Okay.
Race room scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna see how it goes on the Seto. I mean, the Seto has been quite new to me. It's been quite harsh to me as well.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna put in some more practice and have a bit of off time.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, just looking at your place in the championship in the GT series, you guys are at a 5th position, I think. You and Oscar together. Is Oscar going to be doing the next race or not? Do you know?
Not really sure yet, because Oscar has been focusing on iRacing and international scenes. But yeah, we'll probably try our best and get both cars on the track.
Very cool. Great, Elric, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'm just excited for next season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a great season already. I think it's a good starter for the team since that's our debut. And I think that there's going to be quite some rivalries heading into Season 2. I mean, it's already been quite hectic with Ghostworks and RPM and things. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, just all around excited.
Yeah, no, I think you guys have done very well for a new team. And I think you've brought in the right people, and it sounds like you'll be bringing some more drivers in to spice it up. So I'm looking forward to
definitely,
that. But we'll wait for those announcements. You just sort of hinted at that at the start of the interview.
Yeah.
And we look forward to that. So thank you very much, Eric.
Thanks to you. Very nice talking.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, back to the action with 7 laps remaining, and it is Oliphant's leading by half a margin now by 17 points ahead of Hodgson. And Valente Racing's Daniel Haynes there in 3rd position, and we just spoke to Valente Racing's team principal Alaric Inslin. He's the founder of the team as well, is Alaric. And so he's driver Daniel Haynes in 3rd position, Corno Bread in 4th position, and Rudy Murray in the 2nd of Valente cars in 5th. But not much of a battle to speak about. Perhaps the one between Daniel Haynes and Corno Bread is pretty close. This is 1.5 seconds between them. So Wesley Ferrand says, I think the V8s were too much work. We should have a feeder series, so it shouldn't require hours and hours. Yeah, that's another take on it. And, I'll be weighing up all these things up for the next season. But if you want to have a look at a slower Formula sort of car, come join us on Wednesday evening. We're going to have a fun race. Everyone's invited. Couple of fun. We're going to have 4 races, in fact. So we'll have server from 8 p.m. We'll have 2 races per set, 4 races in total. The first race will be normal qualifying, and the second race of the set will be a reverse grid of the top 8. So that should be exciting. And yeah, everybody's welcome. So if you're racing at somewhere in South Africa and you've got a friend that's been thinking of joining but hasn't been too sure, well, Wednesday evening is the evening to join and to get a taste of the action. I think we'll run a couple of open races before the new season starts. I need to actually get on top of the 2019.2 season. I haven't really looked at dates yet. But yes, let's start working on that shortly. And the current season finishes up in June, so not too far away. I'll start getting my ducks in a row. And it's great to have a new team like Volante join the action and take on the established names such as Ghostworks and RPM. And unfortunately, there's talk of RPM falling away. But I think a new team will start with drivers perhaps from RPM. Let's see what happens. A couple of rumors circulating at the moment. And of course, we had RPM's Bongi Mabida chatting to us before. Alaric Insulin, of course. Yeah, great to talk to people on the stream, just get some insights to behind the scenes. And Corner Bread is starting to reel in Daniel Haynes, really starting to challenging for that final podium position. What tires are they running? So Daniel Haynes is on the medium tyre and Corner Bread is also on the medium tyre, so no discrepancy there. And Timothy Haynes, I think Timothy Haynes in fact left the server, so perhaps a disconnect for him. I think he left the server while I was talking to Alaric. Might be mistaken. And Jonathan Pence, hashtag keep fighting RPM. Yeah, why not? It's a shame to see one of their household names fall away. Well, perhaps they'll carry on. So perhaps I should ask Bongi about that. But I'm sure we'll find out in the next month or so what's going on. But Bread starting to again reel in Daniel Haynes. A mistake there by Daniel through Remus. Henry Rue says, I like these team principal interviews. I like them too. Yeah, we spoke to Zander Klingon of Black Widow the last stream too, I think it was. And yeah, we need to make these interviews more of a thing. I'm trying to encourage everybody to talk before the stream starts. Perhaps I need to start doing that as well. So Diaz-Aveda's got Duggan for 12th position. What's happened to Duggan? Looks like he's had a half spin or something. He's fallen right back. And Duggan just needs to be careful because he's got race leader Leslie Oliphant just behind him. He once passed and Duggan does a fine job. Gets him past. We've got just 2 laps remaining now for Leslie Oliphant. And of course we've got the version 1 release of Assetto Corsa Competizione happening this month, at the end of this month. So we're going to have to see what that looks like as well. And how we can incorporate it into the 2019.2 season. Let's see how that works out as well. It seems SCC seems to work pretty well. When compared to Assetto Corsa, even on older computers. But But at the moment it hasn't got triple screen support, I don't think, and the VR isn't up to scratch just yet. But anyway, let's give it a chance. That releases on the 29th of May, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, this of course introduces night and rain and a whole lot of improvements as well. And of course, the entire 2019 Blancpain GT Series grid of cars as well, which is pretty exciting. Brings in the likes of Aston Martin and Jaguar and Honda to the scene. But there's certainly still a place for a set of course at SimRace South Africa. I think the two working hand in hand is ideal for what we want. Let's see how everything works out. No, in fact, yeah, so it's a 1.5 laps now left for race leader Les Olifants. Corner Bread, he it's falling back from Daniel Haynes, unfortunately for us, but fortunately for Valente Racing and Daniel Haynes. And then we have that leaders on final lap. Les Olifants now on the run to Castle Edge for the final time. Just 2 corners now for Les Olifants to navigate. And Olifant will take victory of round 4 of the 2019.1 South African simGP series at the Red Bull Ring. Congratulations to him and the RPM Sim Racing outfit. Fantastic result. Nick Hodgson, what a strong race by him. Challenging for the victory for most of this race. Leading part of it as well. But Hodgson will get second. Great result for him and the Dodging Towers team. And Valente's Daniel Haynes started from pole position. An error put him down to 11th, but he's recovered to finish on the podium. Am I talking a bit too soon? As we're not over, it's not over yet, and Corner Bread is just 0.7 of a second behind him. So Haynes under pressure now. Oh, and there's contact. What's happened? Haynes is running to the back of Hennebury. And Bread is going to slip by and take the podium results. So this gone all pear-shaped here for Daniel Haynes. What has happened there? I suspect Hennebury is trying to get out the way, and he just sort of Daniel Haynes just tripped over him. So brutal finish here for Daniel Haynes. But anyway, Bread finishes on the podium. His first podium for at SimRace South Africa, but is waiting for Daniel Haynes is Bread. Wow, that's very generous by Corner Bread. Bread's going to get 4th position. And Rudy Maria will get 5th. Lawrence Stern will get 6th. Mark Hennebury will get 7th. Then Timothy Haynes will get 8th. So Corner Bread, just noticing what happened. He didn't take the position from Haynes. He gave it back to him. What great sportsmanship-like behavior there from Corner Bread. Didn't have to do that. Wow, it's very generous. But anyway, it's handed a podium result to Daniel Haynes. And great stuff there. And that concludes the penultimate round of the 2019.1 South African simGP series. Well, that was a pretty good race in the GP series. We've been battling for good races this season, the GP series, but that was a decent one, I felt. And once again, congratulations to the RPM Sim Racing team and Ezio Olifant for a fantastic victory and winning that battle with Nick Hodgson. Well, of course, don't forget about that fun race that's coming up on Wednesday evening. I think we're going to get things underway from about 8 o'clock in the evening on Wednesday evening. It is a fun race. Everybody's welcome to join. You don't need to be signed up for the season in South Africa. So, of course, come and join us. And if you've got a friend that's interested, or wants to get into sim racing and not too sure, but wants to have a taste of it, Wednesday evening is your night to try it out. And I think we'll run a couple of open races before the new season starts as well. Yeah, so that was a great race. Anyway, from me, Jason Holden-Jones, thank you very much for watching. It was a big thanks to Bongi Mabida and Alaric Insulin for joining me in the commentary booth. It was fantastic talking to them and getting some insights into the teams that were RPM for Bongi and Volante Racing for Alaric as well. And anyway, until I think we're going to stream again on Monday evening for the penultimate round of the simGP series at the Nürburgring Sprint Circuit. That should be a good race. A lot of overtaking opportunities on that layout of the circuit. Well, from me, Jason Holden-Jones, thank you very much and all the best until Monday evening. Goodbye for now.